Good afternoon. This is Camden with Generation Z. It is August 26, 2021, and today's a crazy one. Most of you are probably halfway keeping up with Kabul. I will touch on it. I will talk about it. But it's a shame. It's a true crying shame. What's going on right now? We are going to talk about it. Lots of other stuff. Let's jump right into it. Here from CTV News. Pacemakers, defibrillators can be affected by newer smartphone watches. Study finds. Study reinforces the recommendation that U.S. Food and Drug FDA that patients keep any consumer electronics that may create magnetic interference, including cell phones and smartwatches, at least 6 inches away from their implanted medical devices. Findings come after Apple warned its customers in January that iPhones and Apple Watches might interfere with pacemakers and cardiac defibrillators. Ensuring the safety of our nation's medical devices is a cornerstone of our consumer protection mission. These cell phones, these quicker technologies, these 5G, smaller frequency waves, higher frequency, smaller wavelengths, they're starting to get scary. At what point, we know of stories like hacking fish tanks to get into an entire casino's infrastructure. At what point can a defibrillator, someone's pacemaker, get hacked from their cell phone? That is what's at least made possible here by this study. The FDA isn't my best friend right now, but the studies that they at least pay other people to conduct can somewhat be trusted still. Specifically, Apple is getting worrisome for me too. I have an iPhone and I don't think I will have one much longer. Here, an article from Edward Snowden. We would like to think that this man is a purveyor of truth, so I definitely am taking his word for face value. The task Apple intends its new surveillance system to perform, preventing their cloud systems from being used to store digital contraband, in this case unlawful images uploaded by their customers, is traditionally performed by searching their systems, so searching through Apple's iCloud. However, that's about to change in September with iOS 15. Under the new design, your phone will now perform these searches on Apple's behalf before your photos have even reached their iCloud servers. And if enough forbidden content is discovered, law enforcement will be notified. I intentionally waive any technical and procedural details because, yes, Apple is getting clever. Apple is getting intuitive. Apple is getting more technologically advanced, just as everything else is. But it makes sense. They can justify it with great things like, here's a great comic. It says, how would you like this wrapped? In anti-terrorism or protecting kids. Right. It's justifiable. But at what point is pictures that I save on my phone of FDA documents, CDC documents that they don't like being called out? What is that now? When is that now contraband? When is that now? Because as they exactly do say, when is that forbidden content? We know that some of these Department of Homeland Security specifically mentions COVID-19 misinformation and election fraud is terroristic threats right now in the United States. So at what point is forbidden content freedom of speech content? I'm not plugging any phones. I don't know what I'll do. I don't think by next month I will still have an Apple product. It's caused me plenty of problems in the past months as I've made voices and opinions known here. And it's something that I thought you guys should know about because, wow. We've got things like the Light phone. We've got just old school Nokias. We've got a Freedom phone that I've talked about recently. I don't know who these backers are. Light Phone, it uses AT&T's cell phone towers. Freedom Phone seems like a really good idea, but is it more Patriot Act-esque things, you know? Who are the unnamed investors? Who servers are they using? Whose towers and satellites are they using? These things aren't known yet. And so I'm weary of everything. I might go full ham radio. I talked about that on Twitter today. I don't know. Next, from newsrescue.com, trust the science. CDC counts people who died within 14 days of a jab here I will specifically go into the document that is from the CDC. I will show you. They list here adverse effects all the way at the bottom under their abbreviations and little asterisks. Persons were considered vaccinated after greater than 14 days after the receipt of second dose and 1 dose of a single dose, partially vaccinated greater than 14 days after the receipt of the first dose, and unvaccinated less than or equal to 14 days receipt of first dose of a 2 dose and 1 dose of a single dose. So you guys can obviously draw the connections there where they are obvious. The couple people I could point to, like the BBC radio host that has recently passed. I have some own people in my life that passing aways. It's really hard to speak on because I want this video to, like, you know, be able to stay on YouTube. I want you guys to know about this. Rough. If anything, the efficacy is called into question just by statements like this alone. You look at the recent FDA approval. That is for a Intech version of this that is not brought to market. It is not being labeled yet. The current Pfizer version that is in people's shelves is still under emergency authorization use. The liability clause is still there for that. Liability waiver is still there for that. Bait and switch, sneaky. Even if they started calling this a therapeutic, because it doesn't seem to be inoculation, the shadiness, the questionability, the wait, that doesn't make sense is hesitancy enough for me alone. I hate even using that word. Don't want it to get flagged. In Florida, a couple days ago, we had doctors walk out. Why did they walk out? In protest of encouraging people to get, yes, okay. But fact checkers are fact checkers, and the news reports walk out. Lawyers at hospital realize public outrage. Fact checkers are making sure to say it's not a walkout. This seems against narrative, right? They would want this to be walkout per their own normal bias, but it's not. I mean, my videos get flagged. On the HARP video that I had, they put the Wikipedia HARP article. I was told not to use Wikipedia in school. It's not trustworthy, but here it's plenty trustworthy. Strange. You have in this walkout too, I'll go to it, you have this lady that is speaking to the news. She's wearing scrubs that just say doctor. False flags, fake, organized, crisis actor things. I don't know. But this entire thing is just head scratching, right? Here, a presser from Jin Psaki today. I just want everyone to listen to her words.
You know, having a variety of meetings today, we expect their conversation to be wide-ranging, to cover a range of topics of mutual interest, everything from COVID-19 and our efforts to address the global pandemic, to
Yikes.
regional security issues,
You
which
all
could
heard it.
include a range of topics.
That was her words, not mine. Freudian slip of the fucking year. Now, okay, we're going to do our touch on Afghanistan. Here, BlackWater founder finds new income stream, flying Americans out of Kabul at $6,500 per seat. A normal flight from Kabul to anywhere else, over 50% of this ticket. But here they are charging exactly that. The question is, if it is so important to evacuate Americans, why is the price tag so high? Because people will pay it? Because they're told they have to? Or because it keeps people there? I don't know. Here today, Zabihullah Mujahid specifically said that the Taliban will work to keep foreign terrorists out of Afghanistan and out of the country. Just hours before, as many of you are up to date on it, explosions, 3 at the point of recording. Zabihullah tweeted, the Islamic Iraq Shrine condemns the bombing of civilians at the Kabul airport, which took place in the area where U.S. forces are responsible for security. The Islamic Emirate is paying close attention to the security and protection of its people. The evil circles will be strictly stopped. Finger pointing, I worry the U.S. is going to point fingers. People in the country are going to start pointing fingers. When we shouldn't be pointing fingers, we should be taking care of the people, the humans. I'm so tired of those in power doing things for their power. BlackRock lining its own pockets, pointing fingers at people that you can ambiguously point fingers at, instead of caring about the humans. In this chess game, I made the point to someone the other day, I'm worried that we're not pawns. The Bidens, Pelosi's, McConnell's, Zabula here, those are the pawns. We're more like the squares on the chessboard that they're moving and stepping on top of. I don't know who's playing the fucking chess game. The most up-to-date thing I have on Kabul, 12 U.S. service members have been killed, 15 wounded. This is sad. This is sad. This is sad. There have been 3 explosions now. At a loss of words, honestly. I live right next to the biggest infantry base in the country, Fort Benning. I know people that are there. The disregard for human life, for a CIA plan to destabilize and rid its country of the mentally incompetent president. I hate it. I hate what's happening. And I'm sad. And here we have a video of a soldier. I just let it play.
That sounded like a terroristic threat. Because not you talking about a bunch of gun owners going out and starting a bloodbath. Like, have you never heard of the Insurrection Act? There's reasons why the military doesn't deploy within the U.S. And if they did, your little good old boy system is not going to fare well for you. Understand that if active duty military actually get deployed within the United States, that weapon is not just pointed at other people, other countries. It's pointed at you. If you do not get in your house when I tell you to, you become the enemy. Martial law, you know, where your rights get curtailed. You don't have all those same freedoms that the Constitution guarantees at that point. So be careful what you wish for and stop opining about things you don't understand. Okay, bye.
All right. When you heard her, that is how martial law works. We saw the military insider message that I got. The point of the Second Amendment is exactly this: to arm yourself, to ensure yourself against tyranny. I just think it's coming. People I've spoke to, I talked about being next to that base, people I've talked to that are fresh back from Afghanistan overseas, they're wide-eyed. I'm not fear-mongering here. I'm actually hopeful that real change, actual change, is what we're on the brink of, because I believe in the people. So, I mean, I'm getting antsy, I'm getting sad, I'm getting torn in so many directions here. Lastly, Tony Hawk and a deal with Liquid Death is making boards, 500 a piece, infused with his own blood. You'll remember Lil Nas X's shoes with just human blood in it. This is actually supposedly Tony Hawk's own blood. You wonder things like shedding, blood magic, or just publicity, PR for the sake of being talked about and staying relevant. I don't know. I'm having a hard time saying anything concrete. He says here, I'm deeply thankful to have a connection with my fans, and I appreciate how Liquid Death connects with theirs. He's connecting with you. But this man's getting old. Relevancy is relevancy. No one has stayed in the public eye as positively for as long. I don't know. There's news for the day. I appreciate you guys. It's getting crazy. Personal life here too. I'm sure it's all for you. Be careful. Be safe. And be ready.